Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near?
Tell me more about your special bird powers.
Good morning, Night Vale.
It's me, Symphony.
And it's me, Meg.
And it's me, Hal. And this is Good Morning Night Vale, the show where we, three of the actors involved with Welcome to Night Vale, listen to Welcome to Night Vale and then recap episode by episode, you guessed it, Welcome to Night Vale. But that's not all. This gumbo wouldn't be complete without the spicy ingredients made up by your fan theories and questions and comments. So we have that thrown in there too. There are interviews. It's a really good show. You should listen to it. And by the way, we are recording this on March 9th, the year of our flying spaghetti monster, 2022. Things are starting to open up. Remember I said that.
And this episode is episode 106, the description of which is The Angels Go to the Hall of Public Records. Let's talk about it.
And boy, do they. I like that we start out in the paperwork nightmare. It's kind of like the common Night Vale trope is like the paperwork nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Of the angels trying to file and then things are this. And yeah, so it's the like poking the stick at the bureaucracy and all of the detritus of bureaucracy, which...
I was also picking up oaky notes of discrimination. Of like, oh, remember when it was real hard for some people in this country to get a driver's license? Or register to vote or do anything. Like this had a feeling of that, like, oh, you missed this form. You didn't fill this out. You don't have this piece. So there's the bureaucracy of it. But then that sort of jumped out at me in reading it because very anti-angel in this town.
Yeah, the weaponization of the bureaucracy.
Mm-hmm.
The systemic oppression.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And the just like not recognizing their personhood, which we here in the U.S. can very much relate to when it comes to issues of race and injustice. Right, guys?
It's definitively American.
Oh, yes.
It's funny because it's Yeah. But, the angels keep on trying. They keep doing what they're trying to do. But Alondra is not having it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alondra is kind of other in the town of Night Vale. Like she's an outsider and she just wants it to be done. And she's like, I feel like that's where her vibe is. But because Night Vale is in its sort of webs of Night Vale or touch everything that are there now in the, the details of settling the estate of her mother. It's just bizarre and difficult.
Yeah, and I think that's also, she just wants to be kind of just done with all of it, and the angel thing is dragging it out for her. And I understand that whole thing of having to, like, it's not easy to die, you guys. Like, unfortunately, there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be done to recognize that you've died and where all of your stuff goes if you don't have things planned out already. And who knows how that works in Night Vale. So obviously the large amount of bureaucracy that just exists to exist is probably 3 times as difficult, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And isn't it a metaphor for grief, and moving on? It's just the complicated nature of experiencing loss, being one of the people who survives and has to move forward.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, you're left holding the bag of like, oh, here's this house, here's all this stuff, and she wants to sell and move on from, ostensibly, but then these other people claim to it. It kind of reminded me when my great Aunt Ray died. I remember her condo was flooded with relatives, and it was like, we're taking the silverware. I'm taking the. It was like a flea. It was like a flea market.
It's so weird.
A flea market, even the yard sale.
Yeah. That whole. It's very strange when people just like come lay their claim to things and then just like put stickers on stuff or like want things, and it's like, what? I mean, I guess, like, what are you else going to do with the stuff? But, like, can't you just back off for a second? But, like, I mean, people want remembrances or just because they want the family jewels or
they're owed something.
Whatever.
This was supposed to be mine. This turntable was supposed to be mine, and it went to this person, but it was supposed to be mine. So now that they're gone, I'm going to take it because it was supposed to be mine.
Yeah. Or they're hurting and feeling a loss of control. So they don't have the emotional tools to just talk about it. So instead they, get angry about who's going to end up with great grandma's, kitchen towels.
Right.
And then they never speak to their cousin ever again.
Right. Because, wow. I know. I've seen some pretty ugly stuff, as family members pass away and like people are close to you. It's just weird to see how people can change because of that. But I did want to mention that, did we all catch the thing about Alondra's lawyer, like being in love with, like, or formerly married to the judge?
It was so funny. It was just so subtle, and Cecil delivers it too.
Yes.
Like the tone that he's able to get in the performance of that specific part it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I love that. And then you should never hire a 5-headed dragon as your counsel because they're going to do physical damage to the plaintiff or the defendant.
Yes.
Or just the other side of the case. And then you've got there's going to be a civil lawsuit off of that. There are damages. So, now Alondra's suing Miriam Edelman.
Well, who shouldn't be burning people up.
Yeah. She delivered a scathing response. She blew fire at
literally
them.
Scathing, which is hilarious.
Literally scathing. Yes.
It's a good use of literally, or I guess the former use of literally.
Scathing. Yeah, because it's usually used like a really like mean, right? But it can actually mean like burnt up, burning, firing.
Yes. It's painful and burning either psychologically / emotionally, or a dragon flamed you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet when Jeffrey Craner typed that line into his laptop, he was like,
Yeah.
You know he was.
I hope he was. I hope there was some writer acknowledgement of being like, yeah,
There
I just
are a
wrote
lot
that.
of Jeffrey Craner fingerprints all over this episode, including that,
Oh, yeah.
including the,
Oh, yeah.
Emilio, it's been 4 years. I'm remarried. We're done, okay? That's very, like, you can hear him. I don't know how Jeffrey writes. I've never asked him. Maybe we should. We know him. But some of these things you read it, you just imagine him speaking it as he's writing it out.
Yeah.
And enjoying a chuckle. But maybe that's kind of a douchey way to write. I don't mean it that way. I just mean it like maybe it helps get into the moment of it.
No, I think a lot of writers have like a very just like personal reflection in their cadence of speech or like how they would say something, or whether that would be like they might not say it, but it's something that they would say, or you could see them saying. I don't know. Things like that always stick out to me. And I feel like Jeffrey's sense of humor is such that he would get a chuckle out of being like, I've been remarried for 4 years. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I enjoy his subtle humor quite a bit, because it's sometimes you have to like listen to it, like really listen to get it. Like he'll say something so like offhandedly and you're like, what? Oh, like, what the hell? My daddy is funny.
Places these deeply human moments in the middle of the most bizarre circumstance.
Yes. And observes them dryly.
A talent and a scholar, that man.
By the way, yes, he truly is. This lunch order that Cecil puts in is one of the grossest things you can imagine. A Cobb salad with extra whipped cream and pencil shavings.
Yeah, that's the way he likes it.
From the Missing Frog salad bar. Boy, is that like that's like a nice little run there, isn't it? A Cobb salad with extra whipped cream and pencil shavings from the Missing Frog salad bar. That's the fun of comedies in the details.
Yes.
Truly is.
But this whole intern piece of it freaked me out.
I loved this.
Freaked me out from the second, just because I don't, maybe that's a nightmare I've had. Have you had a nightmare like this? Where you see yourself at a younger age and you can't do anything, or just there's something weird and off about that?
No, I've never had that dream.
No, man.
I don't know if I have either, but if something struck me about it, like this feeling of dread I've had before, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's from the end of the original Twin Peaks.
Oh.
When the Bob version of Cooper is chasing the actual Agent Cooper around the Black Lodge. That freaked me out. Still does. And this made me think of it. And I don't know why. It's not really the same. But
but it gives you similar vibes.
Very unsettling. Deeply, deeply
It's
unsettling.
the same thing in a different font.
Correct.
Yeah. You know, I have never had that dream in particular, but I have had a dream where you're like chasing after someone or following after someone that you can't quite catch, can't quite see the full face of. You're like, I think I know that person. And that's freaky. But this whole segment and like the ending of this story after the weather was very freaky and scary, because it was just like upsetting, like you're in this bathroom he's watching himself. But I did friggin' call it. I was like, oh, is it Cecil? Because he was talking about the way like he dressed and stuff, and like how he had from the first second when he was like, oh, my new intern has a great voice. And I was like, does he? Does he? But the thing about mirrors freaked me out.
Yeah. This is the callback to episode 33, Cassette. This is the other side. This is, in Cassette, we hear from young Cecil, or alternate reality Cecil, Leonard Burton's intern Cecil. And he has the experience, and then now we see it from Cecil's point of view. So it's this like 70 episodes later, connecting through time.
Damn.
Ugh, yeah. It's a deeply upsetting callback.
That brief flash of everything he's forgotten coming in, because we have that running idea that there are a lot of people like Girl Hanlon and Cecil specifically where there's just a huge swath of their life that they don't remember at all. And Cecil doesn't question it, but now he has this moment of being confronted by all of it and then losing it again. And that is, it's just all very icky. It's very icky to me.
Yeah, especially when you know that the hero, and I'm saying that in quotations marks, or our main character is missing things in their mind, like missing memories, missing parts of their life. And we kind of get this weird glimpse into it. So now we know technically more than Cecil does. And you empathize with that because you're like, oh, if you only knew, how would that change the way you react to things, the way you exist within this place? But you're kind of at this, because you're in this dark space, like you can't do anything about it. And you just like really are like, oh, Cecil, remember. But that's not how it works.
Yep.
Apparently the fabric of reality is being ripped to shreds.
Yeah. The holes in the universe.
Portals.
Cracks,
slits.
I'm getting freaked out because of the whole, all the like the slits of the reality. And then how he was talking about the woman from Italy. And then there's like all this Hunter card stuff. And I'm like, Well, Faceless Old Woman came and she was like, oh yeah. Now she's all buddy with the woman from Italy or whatever.
Because of course she is.
Yeah.
Like as soon as she's like, you were friends. I'm like, of course you're friends. Of course, the faceless old woman and the creepy woman from Italy. Of course, we're friends. Fast friends.
Freak Steve out in the mirror.
Yeah, that's fun. Probably great. He's a great screamer. Falls for it every time.
Okay, wait. What would that scream sound like, do you think? Like, just like he's bends down, washes his face. Look, everybody knows that scene, though, too, in horror movies. When the person is like doing something in the mirror and you can see in the mirror and then they go down to like rinse off their face or whatever, spit their toothpaste out and go back up. And then there's like the boogeyman or whatever is in the background.
So you want me to approximate the sound?
Absolutely. For our listeners, please, as a special.
All right, hold on. Let me.
Friends, this is a real study of a voice actor.
Steve Larius. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, goodness. Probably something like that. Probably his voice would get into that squeakiness. Like it would sound like a really fast, rusty hinge.
I love that. That was great. This is true to acting talent, people. Hire this man.
Please hire me. Also, I also want to shout out the section, all of the Hampton Inn.
Yes.
Obviously, a very dear part of Night Vale lore on the road, but plenty of call-outs, specifically the Hampton Inn and their continental breakfasts, beloved by all of us.
Yes. For those of you who may not know this, we love a Hampton Inn. We love the Hamptonality, and we appreciate it. And we all even have our own variation of what we eat at the continental breakfast. Meg, what do you eat? Yes.
As you know, as you've seen me make this many times, is that I get oats. And I have a whole theory about the time of day when the oats, because the oats gradually, as the morning progresses, get gluier and gluier.
Absolutely.
So I like an 8 a.m. oat.
Early oat.
With, mid to early, because I mean, the oats are out at 6, but they're water at 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I like an 8 a.m. oat with a Smucker's packet of peanut butter and a banana and a packet of honey and a cup of coffee and a glass of water. And that is what I have every morning for breakfast on tour. And sometimes I will bring my own peanut butter, and sometimes I will bring my own little bit of cinnamon, a little tiny baggie of cinnamon.
Yes, it's the absolute best. And I have actually adopted that breakfast as well, because I do enjoy it, especially if I want something sweet, a little sweet and hearty that's going to stick to my ribs. But I also here's the changes that happen in the Hampton Alley breakfast. They usually have some sort of breakfast meat, right? And I enjoy most of it.
Yeah.
As most of you know, I don't eat meat all the time, but sometimes when they have the kielbasa and it's like perfectly crispy, baby, can't beat it. Sausage King of Chicago, baby.
It's your Chicago coming out.
Yeah.
Abe Froman.
Abe Froman over here enjoying Hampton Inn.
Cecil gets Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
If he does come down for breakfast, he gets Fruit Loops.
I feel like I don't know that I've ever seen him eat breakfast in a Hampton Inn.
Sometimes he does. It depends on when he wakes up.
I'm sure he does. I'm a very small sample size.
It just depends on when he wakes up. Cecil, as
Yeah.
some of you may or may not know, is a koala in a person suit. Not at all. Not at all. He's gotten better, though. Over the years, he's adopted a better practice, and he's gotten better. But generally, he is not. He's an 18-hour sleeper, if possible. He really...
and not a morning person.
That's part
Yes, and
that's part of getting
Cecil
older.
is 978.
Just turned 978. We wish him the best.
This past February, our Aquarian darling.
Yeah. I usually... Don't most of the Hamptons have a waffle maker?
Yes.
That's usually I'll make a waffle. I like a sugar cereal.
Yes.
I feel like we've also eaten at some where they have sausage, gravy, and biscuits and gravy. And when they have that,
In the South.
Oh, mm-hmm.
yeah, then
That is
then
one
it's
of
time
the-
for that. So it's
yeah.
really dependent on what part of the world we're in. But I also like a piece of fruit. I like a banana or an apple, depending on it's usually Macintosh apple. They have to have like the right apple for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're so bad.
At Macintosh apples, I just can't do it. It's generally too mealy or they are too waxy on the outside. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do all this for some tiny bit of like oversweet apple. I'm particular about my fruit. Bananas
Yes.
can't be too green and they can't be too ripe. There's a sweet spot of like a day and a half. And then I will otherwise chuck those bananas out a window.
I found lately I really like a Honey Nut Cheerio with banana.
Oh, yeah.
For breakfast.
Delish.
And we've
Yo,
we'll have
yes.
bananas. I just bought bananas yesterday, and they will brown really quickly. But even when they're really brown, when I peel it, it looks fine. It doesn't have like the really sugary spots to it.
Well, you got to test it if it's squishy, because sometimes the outside
Right.
ripens faster than the inside. But you got to test it. If I feel like there's like a too slimy or too soft, no, ma'am, Pam. But I generally I'm pretty cool about it, But I generally, when I think my bananas are going to go bad, I just chop up the rest
Yeah.
of them and put them in the freezer.
Yeah. If we get close, I will freeze them.
For smoothies.
I do want to add that sometimes on the road at the Hampton Inn, just to circle back to this conversation, I will have an Activia
Yeah.
yogurt.
Sure.
And if you know, you know.
I've seen that. I've seen it happen.
Sometimes.
Why not?
Activia.
Continuing on the Hampton Inn conversation. So the Hampton Inn's on Route 800, which is where it would be
Yes.
on Route 800.
Sure.
What kind
Yeah.
of Hampton Inn is it? Because at this point in the game, we have stated every different renovation of Hampton Inn. There's like the 2012 renovation. There's like the 2018 renovation, the different vibes. So what do you, and the different gym equipment, and what kind of Hampton Inn do you think Night Vale has?
I think the Hampton Inn they have is the one that just opened like 6 months ago. So everything's relatively new, but it's not the nicest one. It's like the grade C one. So like their gym is like, they might have like a couple of benches in there, but they only have like 4 cardio machines.
Okay.
And there is a pool, but it like hasn't been filled yet. And there's like the parking, there's like, yes, there's plenty of Diamond Elite or Diamond parking spots. They have a great parking lot. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
I think it's like the one, not to put my hometown on blast, but the one in Fort Washington where I'm like, oh, I'll just stay at my dad's place. And it's like just a shoebox and old, the kind where you go in and like if somebody hasn't been there before, you're like talking up a Hampton Inn and you bring them there and you go, they're usually nicer than this, like that kind of Hampton Inn. And it's right across, like you have to, like, you remember when we stayed there and then we went to Cracker Barrel, which was crossing.
Oh, yeah.
You just had to basically walk across like the freeway to get there. It just feels like that's what it feels like to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yes,
think,
I
Meg?
agree. Remember the Hampton that we stayed at when we were checking in, and right as we were walking through the door, there was a snake that had gotten in? Yeah. I feel like it's like that, but just more so.
Yeah.
Where was that?
There's like more things like that happening.
More snakes?
Where it's like, there's a snake when you get in that shouldn't be there. Like, there's like some spiders. There's the faceless old woman for sure. She's haunting those, all that. She's haunting that lobby bathroom. If you know, you know.
Sure.
I was going to say that there's something going on in that lobby bathroom that you can... The best place to poop.
Activia.
Yes. The best place to blow up. I'll tell you what. Wow.
That's like the Willy Loman of bathrooms. They're just like, all right, come have your blowout. I know you've been on the road for a while. I guess.
And friends, please let us know what you think the Hampton Inn in Night Vale looks like. If you've ever been to a Hampton Inn, you people out there who've never been to Hampton Inn, you cannot speak on the Hamptonality. You don't know. But if you've ever experienced the Hamptonality, tell us, give us your mind canons about what the Hampton Inn is
and your
like
go-to breakfast.
In your mind. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like we said, there's all these cracks appearing in reality, right? And tears in the fabric of space or whatever. Like there's a Scottish castle, and I cannot read my notes. Oh, but I made a note about Larry Leroy and his wife, but he's never been married.
Yes, Chrisette.
Chrisette. Yes, I love my boy Larry Leroy. Yeah, so you just have to like watch out and figure out what's reality. With that, I'm sure that it's kind of almost like a sliding doors, and that's why Cecil's younger self, you're like seeing your like something that could have been, maybe was, could have not been, some other dimension of you, whatever. What do you think your thing would be of that? What would be your crack in the
Joseph
reality?
and I were just talking about this.
Were you?
Literally right before we got on. Yes. Because he's like, apparently like long story short, Joseph and I met in New York City. He had just moved there. Instead of moving to New York, he had considered moving to Austin he applied for a job writing for a video game company, and he got to like final interviews there, but it didn't end up getting the job. So if he had gotten that job in Austin, he never would have moved to New York City. And he said that he was like, if I had a job writing, like professionally writing, I probably wouldn't have to have like the side projects of my day job. That were my creative outlet, and that was Night Vale was one of them. And so we were talking about that for him, and then I was like, instead of applying to be an intern for the Neo-Futurists, I almost took a job stage managing a show back in Amherst where I went to college. But instead, my mom was like, don't do that. Try something new. So I that was my sliding doors moment.
Wow.
Would be stage managing a show in Amherst and Joseph living in Austin, and the two of us just...
What's your symphony?
Oh, honestly, it would probably have to go back to me choosing to go to Bradley University for college, which is where I met Cecil, because my great aunt at the time had this rent-controlled apartment like in like Central Park West, and she was getting too old, and they were like, well, you could go to college in New York and, you know, live in this rent-controlled apartment and whatever. So I would have could have moved to New York and gone to school there, and maybe never met Cecil because we went to college together, and maybe I never would have done this either. Also, that I had a thought of going to school for music. I originally was a music major, and if I stayed with that shit, I wouldn't be doing this shit.
He'd be Miss Parisian.
That's right. Inspiration.
Damn, that was a quick draw. Whoa.
That's great.
I didn't realize it was
If
high noon.
only.
That was great.
I love Disparition. He's the best.
Yes, he is.
DJ Dispo.
Yeah. Maybe I'd be on the stage being like spinning fat beats.
Yeah, the fattest beat.
I love when we load into a venue and you're like, they're like, this is where the DJ goes. I'm like, he's
No.
not. They like always assume because he has a laptop that he's a DJ.
Yeah. He does look like a DJ.
Yeah, DJ Mandolin's gonna set up over there.
Your DJ station. Yeah.
Yeah, right. His mandolin
Yeah.
and it. Well, no, he doesn't do the keyboard anymore. He just does like a little mandolin, right?
Yeah. Because that keyboard.
Sweet Mando.
Well, he's doing the keyboard on this tour, on this upcoming tour. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Spoilers.
I feel like I need to go just to carry it for him. As I remember his back, just the back. Oh, he'll be fine.
Spoilers.
He'll be fine. He's a grown
He's got
man.
a little guy.
Okay, good. It's a little mini Casio.
It's a lighter one.
He just hits the bossa nova preset and then he goes.
It's a lighter one. Yes. It's the
Ding, ding, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
Yeah.
ding, boom, boom. That's right. That'll be our entertainment on live shows. So if any of you are expecting some fresh music, no way, Jose. Only bossa nova. What would be your sliding doors sort of moment?
When I was applying to college, I wanted to study communications because I wanted to be a radio talk show host. Not Howard Stern, but I always liked that he had a show where he sort of expressed his point of view and no music or anything. And I was obsessed with like, what would my version of that be? What would I want to talk about? Like, I want to talk on the radio. That was what I wanted to do.
Podcasts?
Well, yeah, we got there, but I applied. Syracuse is one of the places I applied because they have the best communication school in the country. And I didn't have the grades for their communication school, but I had the grades to get into the school. So I went there my freshman year. I was straight A's across the board. The communication school reached out to me and said, because you got good grades, we're going to accept you. You can transfer and become a television, radio, and film major. And my response at 19 years old was, fuck you. You should have taken me when I had bad grades, and I didn't do it. And that is my sliding doors moment, because if I had, who knows, I would have gone into production, audio, could have gone in a million different directions there. I might have found voiceover faster, but I also likely wouldn't have come out to LA. I never would have met Jennifer. So that, even though I didn't do that, and it's interesting to think about what would happen, I can't say it would change anything because too many important, we spend a lot of time in our lives, or maybe just me, or just people. I just observe people who are looking backwards too much. And you have things now that you wouldn't have at whatever inflection point in your life you think would have made things different. And there's no guarantee it would have turned out in the idyllic way that you imagine. So my saying now is, like, whatever direction you're looking is the direction you're going to move. So if you're looking back, then that you're going to be heading backwards all the time.
Exactly, Hal. I totally agree with you there. Like, while the road that you may have gotten to where you are on might have been rough, might have had challenges along the way, those things made you the person that you are, the lessons that you've learned, the people that you've met, the experiences that you've had have all culminated into this now. And if you didn't have, and that's why, and I appreciate that moment, that presentness of being like, wow, I don't know about you, but I love my life, baby. Like, I have amazing friends. I love my job, and it's all come from the things that have come before. The sadness, the triumphs, the tribulations, all of those things. And you'd be a different person. And I quite like who I am. And I like you guys too. So I'm glad our paths crossed and we became special friends. Oh, that sounds bad.
Me too. Hey, who cares what anybody thinks?
Yeah.
I love you.
I'm glad we got to...
Love you too.
I love you guys. Of all the gin joints in this life, I'm glad that we're experiencing some of it together.
So lucky.
How lucky we are.
I love gin. Same.
I love joints. Not marijuana joints. Bendy joints.
Flexibility.
Like when I'm like, I'm going to go smoke a joint, I mean, I'm going to go outside and do some squats. Just smoke the joints in my hips.
I'm going to smoke these joints.
Smoke them. Or I'm like, I'm going to roll a joint. And that's just me rolling over in bed, where I'm just rolling from one hip to the other.
So I was talking about other things that are strange in this episode. The pigeon?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Creepy pigeon.
I wrote that down as well. That felt classic Night Vale to me. I was like, this is classic Night Vale.
I know. I'm like, it kind of felt like that. Who is that serial killer who said that the dog told him to kill people?
Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
Yeah, felt like that. The one true God wants you to bring a human body part?
Yeah. Any part.
Any part. What part would you bring?
To do it soon. The Bible was wrong.
Yeah, the Bible was wrong.
Yes.
You know, the Bible says don't bring pigeons' body parts expressly. I don't a toenail clipping. How about that? That's a body part. It's like should have made a different wish. Should have been more specific. Yeah.
Specified.
It's part of the body. So here's some nose hair, you dumb bird. Still a pigeon. Smarter than you. Care what you say, pigeon. You shut up.
I just feel like you could go by a morgue real quick. I mean, you're not hurting anybody.
Oh,
just
wow.
Clip off ears are real easy to yank off.
Are they?
10 pounds of force, babe. It's not much.
No.
I learned that in a self-defense class.
Have you seen the TikTok account that's the girl who just beats up a self-defense? You know the self-defense dummies where it's like a rubber bust on like a stand, like a heavy bag. She smacks it. She beats the hell out of this thing. She jumps
into it. Yeah.
She gives it like wet willies and then smacks it and then always winds up farting in its face, which is really weird.
Also, you wouldn't fly butt first into someone.
No, it's afterwards. It's like knock it down and then that's it. I already smacked you and punched you and kicked you.
Here's the thing with that. How can you guarantee it's going to be a fart? You're just forcing it.
You don't know.
You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble.
That's the thing. You don't know. You're right.
Activia.
Meg, what body part would you bring?
Yeah.
Or where would you get it from?
Oh, gosh. I like Hal's idea of just like something that already comes off on its own, like an eyelash or like a booger.
A booger.
Yeah.
Stupid bird.
Just go to the medical waste bin. They got a bunch of body parts in there.
Just head on over.
Just pop over to the medical waste bin.
I bet you in Night Vale, it's just out there.
It's like those little...
no one's good at their job.
Yeah.
You know those little libraries?
No one's locking anything.
that people set up in their neighborhood? It's like a box on a post.
Yeah. It's like take a book.
The Willow Street Library. Yeah. It's like that, but it's body parts.
Well, you know what? I have placenta in my freezer. So I have that on hand.
Oh.
It's a whole organ.
You could send them that.
Is that for... Are you saving it for Christmas?
Which shit?
I was going to plant it. But then I had a baby and never got around to doing it. Then the ground froze. So
what does that do? Is that a part of it? Is that like a good luck?
It's like, I don't know, just like it's kind of like returning it to the earth. There's like people who do a bunch of stuff with their placenta, but I didn't like want to throw it away. I don't know.
What if you took it to the Glendale Galleria and threw it in like the fountain instead of a petty? Like,
yeah.
This is one hell of a wish, and then throw it and just watch the splunk. Yeah.
Just a frozen, like 5-pound placenta.
Check it in. I would have immediately eaten it. Like I was in what's that in Game of Thrones, like Khaleesi did with that horse heart.
Yeah.
To give me strength.
There's people who eat it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have, you know?
Well, it's frozen now. You can put it in the Instant Pot and cook it up. Make a soup.
Yeah.
Haggis.
Yeah, you can fill it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, so
all right,
we can bring anything.
Anyways,
yes.
Normalizing body parts. Okay.
So then after that, we basically like Cecil's like starting to figure out because the wallet was left who the intern is, the nameless intern. And then we go to the weather while he figures it out. And when we come back, Cecil has this whole experience with young Cecil, or alternate reality Cecil or whatever, in the bathroom in danger because he admits that he never looks in mirrors anymore.
She got from his mother.
Yeah. And then the whole thing about the dark planet lit by no sun. That is a spooky thought to me, because I've had this recurring dream since I was like 9. I guess it's kind of a nightmare that I am coming downstairs in my old house, not the house that I grew up in most of high school, but before that there was another place. And I walk out the front door and it's dark, but I look up in the sky and there's just like planets. Like I can see planets like kind of in our atmosphere, I guess. Like it's so big. And it's dark, but like, and there's like no moon, but you can fully see like the colors of these planets. And I am just like freaked out by the grandness, the bigness of it, and how that's just not right to have like another planet. You shouldn't be able to see other planets like that normally, you know? So that particularly freaks me out.
Yeah, that's all very freaky.
Yeah. It is. It's very freaky. It's very unsettling. And it is very nightmare-like. We were talking about this at the beginning of the episode. Definitely has sort of the rules of the nightmare is what it feels like. It's like that's the universe that it's operating in. That it feels like this is the reality of a nightmare. And then, it's Night Vale. So we this episode, ends with the angels getting
so weird to see that and go, oh, yeah, that's soon, relatively. We're less than 2 years away from that one.
The paperwork being officially filed, and they have a hearing date, which is scheduled for the last Friday of the month, the last Friday of 2023. So it's coming up.
Justice for the angels, I guess. Right?
But yeah, we end on the note of like reality is failing us, and there's strange forces gathering, and catch you next time.
Yes.
Right.
He's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. That doesn't get any more real than that.
Yeah, real freaky. But just in case anyone was wondering, Harry Styles is very real.
He's a superhero. Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea of
oh, yeah.
Of the actuality of people we rarely see or interact with.
He exists. He exists. And so do angels. And you should tell them.
And how that important it is to recognize people who are different than you. Even if you don't encounter them as often as you, or very often at all, that it means something to acknowledge that people exist. There's a good lesson in there for people. I feel like most of the people who listen to this podcast don't really need that lesson, but it is a good lesson to have out there, that it's important to acknowledge people and acknowledge people's existence.
No, totally. Up next, we hear from fans and friends of the podcast, but first, a conversation about this episode's weather. This episode's weather was All or Nothing by the Dream Masons. Well, Dream Masons, I must be in the Illuminati because I enjoyed that. I liked the bluesy kind of rock, right? The Masons are the Illuminati? No? Yeah, like bluesy pop rock. The lead singer had a great voice.
Blues pop rock?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this song.
I love, my favorite part of when we discuss the weather is that I know that you're going to give a Reading Rainbow review of it. The Dream Masons, they must be building a brick wall of great songs, but don't take my word for it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love it so much. Give me jokes.
Do-do-do.
Cleveland rocks.
Reading Rainbow. It's how I make jokes, Hal.
Also a great name.
They're from Cleveland. I believe they're from Cleveland.
What?
Yeah.
Like me.
Like you. This is off of their 16 album, Hello Violet, which is also the previous name of their band before they were called the Dream Masons.
Oh.
They were called Hello Violet.
That's a great name. I know.
Haven't heard their online presence stops existing in like winter of 21.
Yeah, it was a good song.
So it's possible that they're just on a hiatus, or it's possible that the crack in reality, they fell through it. They were the family in the Smithwick house. It's possible.
Makes sense. How did they get on the podcast, you know?
I don't know. They might have been a submission. Who's to say? I could ask Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
I'll ask Joseph and then
yeah.
stay tuned next time.
Do it. Yeah. Let's zone it up.
Should we turn on the oven, roll out the dough, shred the cheese, crack open a can of jarred sauce because we're Madagon, and make a zone?
Mm-hmm. Fan zone, cal zone.
Stay right there. Good Morning Night Vale will return after a brief break.
First up in the cal zone, we have Damien. Damien writes, "Hey, y'all. First off, I adore all of you and thank you for bringing your delightful banter and wit to this podcast." Well, thank you, Damien. We work very hard on our banter. I wanted to share my headcanon for Night Vale as a whole. I've always imagined that Night Vale was created by accident during testing for an atomic bomb out in the desert of the U.S. Southwest. I imagine that during one of the tests, some type of tear in our current reality/time was created, and the nearby town of Night Vale suddenly vanished from our timeline/reality. However, when military people went to inspect it, they found that it hadn't quite disappeared, although it was not visible. The town was existing in some other dimension. I picture this kind of like the scene in Labyrinth when Sarah finds out the wall looks like a wall can actually be walked through in multiple dimensions. Yes, I know that. I always think of that worm who's like, "Hello. Did you say hello?" "Yeah, I said hello." Also, one of my favorite movies. I imagine they found they could enter the town from a specific angle in just the right way. This also explains why it's so hard to leave the town, because you have to find a similar exit. The secret police are American military and scientists that monitors the town, keeps them under control, and makes sure they can't escape to let others know what happened, as well as using them for experiments. It explains why so much of Night Vale seems to share our world, but also doesn't. I also envision that this rift in time and space also poked holes through to other dimensions, like the desert otherworld and the town beneath the bowling alley. I could go on forever about how this has made even the strangest Night Vale storyline make perfect sense to me. Anyway, thanks again, y'all, and thanks for taking the time to read this. Cheers, Damien. Thank you, Damien. I enjoyed this. Yeah, I mean, why not? I kind of like the idea that, like, as it's been shown to us, that people arrive in Night Vale not knowing that they were going there or trying to go there and then can't leave, i.e. Alondra. She doesn't even remember where her home is. So it is what it is. Thanks a lot, bud.
I got one here from Chriswell Predicts, who writes, "Cecil is Jewish. I believe that Cecil is actually affected by all of the intern deaths he encounters, but has to keep up his radio face when he says to the family and friends. He is showing strong cognitive dissonance, and this reflects in his need to keep mirrors covered. If the time between each successive intern's death is 6 days or less, Cecil would be in a permanent state of sitting Shiva. Therefore, he would never uncover the mirrors in his house. Perhaps this connection with frequent deaths goes quite far back in his family, which would explain why his mother also kept mirrors covered. May you be inscribed in the Book of Life for this year, assuming you actually do survive it. To the family and friends of Meg Bashwiner, Hal Lublin, Symphony Sanders, Joseph Fink, and Jeffrey Craner, oh my God, may our memories be a blessing. What on earth is happening here?
Wow.
Chriswell Predicts? I'm sorry, I don't like one bit of this. I don't like one bit of it. I don't like one bit of it. I don't like that name. Predicts is in the name? And that it ends with some ominous, not making it out. I got swollen feet going to the doctor. This is not good. Ooh. 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 Ooh.
You're safe. You're safe. Daisy writes, Hello, Symphony, Meg, and Hal. I'm currently listening to your episode of Hierarchy of Angels, and I'd like to let you all know that people still use trick voicemail messages. I work in a call center at a college, and I call hundreds of people a day, most of whom have trick voicemails. Sometimes they're funny. I listened to someone get abducted by aliens once. We complain about them constantly at work, but admittedly, I recently changed my outgoing message to the one that Cecil has in the voicemail episode. It brings me a small joy when I get spam calls to know that they have to listen to I just couldn't eat another bite. Anyways, I'd like to say thank you for all the hard work that you guys put into Night Vale and GMNV, and I truly enjoy listening to all the podcasts Night Vale Presents has to offer. Stay weird. Peace always. Daisy. Thank you, Daisy. Thank you so much for listening and for having your outgoing voicemail be the one from voicemail. That's very sweet. Good info. Thank you all so much for listening this week. Thank you to Hal and Symphony for living in this time in the universe with me and sharing my existence. Next episode is episode 107, The Missing Sky. But until then, good morning, Night Vale. Good morning.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. It is hosted by Symphony Sanders, Meg Bashwiner, and Hal Lublin. It is edited by Felicia Dominguez and mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner. Theme music by Disparition. Special thanks to our fans who submitted their thoughts this week. Leave us a voicemail at 929-277-2050 or email us at info@goodmorningnightVale.com to share your theories and ask questions or to tell us how much whipped cream you like on your Cobb salad. This show is powered by our patrons, like Bree Palmer, Brian Sullivan, Brittany Alvey, Caitlin Llewellyn, and Carter. If you're interested in supporting this show in exchange for lots of fun, exclusive, insider, hyper cool kid content, check us out at patreon.com/goodmorningnightVale. For more info on this show, go to goodmorningnightVale.com and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Night Vale Chat. Special thanks to Joella Knapp, Jeffrey Craner, and Joseph Fink. Cal's own ingredient of the week is mud and fur.